These are the best DJ settings that will make you DJ better. Watch closely because most pro DJs use these exact settings in their DJ sets. And while you may DJ just fine, the truth is, you could be DJing better and more easily by simply adjusting your software settings. So we'll first talk about the settings that you need to change to DJ better, followed by the settings to optimize your DJ interface so that you can mix perfectly every time and also in key. And finally, the best effect settings to make doing complex DJ techniques like this super easy like this. And this all starts by changing your hot cue settings, because by default, queuing tracks up sounds like this, when it should really be like this. By making this simple change, queuing songs and mixing them in becomes so much easier, because now you have the flexibility to jump to the song's position where you want to trigger it in, queue it up, and get it ready to mix. So on Serato DJ, this setting is already on by default, but on Rekordbox DJ, it's not. So just follow these instructions to get this hot cue setting. Pro DJs usually stop their tracks like this to do cool tricks like this. And getting this setting is super easy. So on Rekordbox DJ, follow these instructions. On Serato DJ, do this. With those changes made, you can now do that traditional vinyl break stop. Let's move on to the most exciting new DJ feature, stems.
Put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air.
So using stems allows you to isolate specific elements of your track like vocals, instrumentals, drums, etc. The thing is, by default, these settings are disabled on Rekordbox DJ and are difficult to access on Serato DJ. So let's fix that. To enable stems on Rekordbox DJ, do this. And to use stems with your Pioneer DJ controller, just download the link file below, follow the provided instructions, and you'll be ready to utilize this amazing feature. On Serato DJ, to have an easier time accessing stems on your controller, go to the settings menu, and within the DJ preferences section, check this box over here. Then choose a pad mode you wish to replace. Now on your controller, whenever you access that pad mode you replaced, you'll be able to manipulate your stems. Using stems can be daunting at first, but I have a simple hack that'll make stem mixing a whole lot easier later on in this video. Anyway, now that we've changed the 3 most functional settings, it's time for the most crucial change of all that will significantly affect and improve your performance, and that's changing your latency settings. To provide a better understanding of this change, here's an example of bad latency. And here's an example of good latency. Audio latency can be compared to a brief pause or delay that occurs when transitioning between actions. So the lower your latency settings are, the more accurate your performance will be. However, it's important to note that adjusting this setting can impact your computer's playback, so I typically keep mine below 10 ms. Anyway, here's how to adjust your latency settings on Rekordbox DJ. And here's how to adjust your latency settings on Serato DJ. One of the biggest challenges of DJing is getting your timing right. This is especially important when queuing songs in and making loops. So a quick trick to help your timing when you need it is to activate Quantize. And you can think of Quantize as an automatic correction feature which basically corrects your timing and snaps your track on beat. So here's how to activate Quantize on Rekordbox DJ. And here's how to activate Quantize on Serato DJ. You can also customize your Quantize settings, and for me, since my sense of rhythm is always off, I typically keep my Quantize value at 1. Keep in mind that you don't need to have Quantize on all the time. There will be situations when you DJ when it's actually preferable to keep it off, so use this setting whenever you need to. Now, for me, I typically keep mine on when I DJ electronic music or when I make loops. Speaking of personal preferences, let's explore a couple of very important bonus setting changes you might want to consider if they align with your DJing style. And let's start with Rekordbox DJ, beginning with a hack that'll make sectional mixing super easy. Now, the key to DJing is knowing where and when to mix, and if you're starting out, your blends may actually sound like this.
Let me see those hands, let me see them, come on.
When they should really be like this. Back in the day, to consistently mix like that, you had to know every section of your track by heart. But who has the time nowadays to count beats and cue pointer tracks one by one? So this hack bypasses that and makes Rekordbox DJ show your track sections, breaking them down into easily identifiable segments. So for number 1 on analysis, make sure phrase is ticked. And to see this change, on the view layout section, make sure the following items are selected. Now with each section labeled, mixing perfectly every time becomes effortless, because now you only need to match the right phrases at the right sections. So there are 2 common types of sectional mixing techniques. Let's break them down. The first and most basic is intro-outro mixing. This involves mixing the intro section of the next song at the outro section of the current song. This way, the first verse of the next song seamlessly begins right after the current song's outro section ends.
What you need if you need to feel a buzz. Come give me a hug again, in the rub. You can find me in the club.
Now, understanding the best locations for song transitions involves considering various factors, such as genre, key, and overall energy. However, knowing the exact moment you should mix your next song in and mix out from your previous song is a difficult skill to master, even for pros. That's why I use DJ Studio to guide me and create a roadmap for a perfect mix. Basically, all you have to do are the following things. Load all the songs you plan to use for a mix into DJ Studio. Then, activate Auto Mix and select your mixing preferences. Then let DJ Studio determine the optimal order for your tracks. Once you're happy with the overall mix, click Export, select your DJ software, and make sure Add Hot Cues is selected. Then open up your DJ software, and your DJ Studio ordered and cue-pointed playlist will be there and ready. Upon loading a track, you'll notice the hot cues created by DJ Studio, providing clear guidance on where to start the next track, initiate the transition, execute the bass swap, and determine where the transition needs to be finished. So let me give you an example. So the decks are loaded with the first 2 tracks of the mix. Now that deck 1 is running, keep an eye out for hot cue marker H, which is also present in deck 2. As soon as track 1's H marker aligns with the playhead, play deck 2 via its hot cue H marker. With both tracks now in sync, keep in mind that hot cue marker H occurs precisely 32 beats before we should start our next transition. So keeping this in mind, be attentive to the upcoming hot cue markers, K, L, and M. These cue points are strategically placed on both decks, signifying 3 crucial moments in your mix. So K marks the ideal starting point for blending in, while L serves as an optional indicator for executing a bass swap.
I make you sweat, make you sweat.
Finally, M indicates the moment when your transitions should be completed. So cue point markers H, K, L, and M were used to mix track number 2. To smoothly transition out of track 2 and introduce track 3, DJ Studio made a new set of hot cue markers, G, N, O, and P. So track 3 starts with a G, 32 beats before the transition. And like what we did before on our first transition, follow the hot cue markers, but this time, follow the N, O, and P ones. All of these cue points in these songs are set up in the right order for this playlist, so if you follow them, you can even mix without using headphones. Just keep an eye on the cue points as your visual markers for smooth manual mixing.
Bad girl, you a bad girl. You a talk with a freaky thing, whoa. You a make it go sticky like whoa. Me a bad man, girl, is you my routine, baby. Bad girl, you a bad girl.
So this feature is just a sample of what DJ Studio can do. So if you want to try this amazing software out, check the links down below. Anyway, let's now move on to intro chorus mixing. In this approach, you mix the intro of the next song at the chorus of the current song. This way, as the chorus of the current song concludes, the first verse of the next song smoothly begins.
Move, bounce, turn it out. Move, bounce, turn it out. Drop it low, girl, work it out.
Now you may be wondering, where do DJs get their tracks with intros and outros? Because most of the time, songs just start immediately, making sectional mixing almost impossible. And as DJs, we simply need more time to mix, so extended edits like this are way more preferable. So pro DJs like Skrillex, James Hype, and Martin Garrix download all their tracks from DJ record pools. And you can think of DJ record pools as huge libraries of music of all genres where DJs can download all the tracks they could ever need. And these high quality tracks can range from radio edits, to remixes, to instrumentals, to acapellas, and to tracks with extended intros and outros. So the DJ record pool most pro DJs use is Crate Connect, and you can get a huge discount on their services by using the coupon code DJ Carlo when you sign up on their site. Anyway, let's speed things up. Moving on to number 2, deactivate tooltips because you're not a noob. Number 3, on the controller section, make sure instant doubles is selected. This way, when you load a duplicate track on the other side of the deck, it'll follow the same position and pace of the original track. Number 4, for jog, untick this section here so you can have an easier time queuing your tracks up when using the jog wheels. Number 5, on the mixer section's EQ side, select Isolator so that you can better adjust your track's equalization. Number 6, on the crossfader curve section, if you want to do cool tricks like this, make sure the crossfader curve is all the way to the right side. Number 7, if you stream music, on the advanced other section, make sure the following settings are ticked. And number 8, to ensure your songs maintain their pitch, ensure key lock is activated. Now let's move on to Serato DJ and let's quickly go through this. Number 1, enable beat jump controls. This function allows you to easily jump through your track. Number 2, enable track end warning so you can visually see if your track is nearing its end. Number 3, enable instant doubles so that when you duplicate your track, it'll follow the same positioning as the track it was duplicated from. Number 4, to get the best mix recordings, select 24-bit and choose WAV as your file format. Number 5, for easier harmonic mixing, on Library plus Display, make sure Show Key As is set to Camelot. Number 6, if you have a computer with a nice screen, make sure high-res screen display is ticked. Number 7, for music streaming, make sure only the streaming sources you use are selected. Number 8, if you scratch, ensure the crossfader curve is set to fast. Number 9, to ensure your songs maintain their pitch, ensure key lock is activated. And number 10, For your user interface, this is totally up to you, but I would select extended as our layout because doing so will give us a better view of our track's waveform. With our Serato settings and layout finally adjusted, let's now move on to optimizing your user interface for Rekordbox DJ. So we'll turn this boring default interface into this. Okay, let's first start with our view settings. So here on the layout menu, untick any of the items here you don't use. Personally, I like to keep all of this unselected. Next, on the effect panel, so you can access your sound color effects and do cool things like this.
Diamonds on my wrist, diamonds on my wrist, diamonds on my wrist, diamonds on my wrist, diamonds on my wrist.
Make sure to click beat effects plus sound color effects. With that setting viewable, you can now change your default filter color effects to any of these here. So just select your desired sound color effects and turn your CFX knob. Next, select high speed as your waveform drawing rate. For the color side, opt for RGB. The rationale behind this choice, apart from the visual appeal over just using blue, lies in the fact that these colors more accurately depict the spectrum of the track, enhancing your visual mixing experience. And on that note, change your hot hue color settings to colorful. And finally, for key display format, enable alphanumeric, as that type of format is much more easier to read for harmonic mixing. Also ensure that key is selected in the analysis settings, even if it's not always perfectly accurate. The reality is, Rekordbox DJ often gets its track key analysis wrong. That's why I rely on specialized software like Mixing Key 10 for this task. And you can get a huge discount on this software by using the coupon code down below. Now, when it comes to harmonic mixing, there is a lot to break down. But essentially, harmonic mixing is a process of mixing tracks together which have compatible root keys. And the key to stem mixing like a pro lies in mastering this type of blending. The challenge in harmonic mixing lies in determining which key pairs harmoniously with another. While tools like the Camelot wheel aid us in making these corrections, it would be ideal if there were a way to instantly identify the optimal key for our mixes, and luckily, there is with this easy setting change. So at the traffic light section, select related key to, then close the preferences tab. Now at the browser section, make sure master is selected. With that done, load a song up. And there you go. All the songs that can go harmonically with it will have its key section highlighted in green. So if you want to mix in key, just select any of the songs highlighted. Now let's set up Rekordbox DJ's most underutilized feature, pad effects. So you can think of pad effects as effect shortcuts you can program into your performance pads. And let me give you an example. Let's say you want to use the echo effect to echo your track away. So instead of doing all of this to mix out, you can instead just do this. As a longtime user of pad effects, I've tailored my settings to be the absolute best. They're applicable for normal DJing and performance DJing. So the top row here is in charge of accenting your tracks. And the bottom row is in charge of smoothly fading your tracks away. So let's get these exact pad effect settings. Back in Rekordbox DJ, let's access our pad effect settings right here. In this section, click on the gear icon to customize them. And to streamline this process, simply copy what I do here. Now, please keep note that once you've configured your pad effect settings on one deck, you'll need to set the other deck as well. Now, all these settings will instantly make you DJ better. But what's the point of having the best DJ settings if you're still doing the wrong techniques? So watch this video over here to learn the 3 most important techniques you need for DJing.